Hi, this is Steve from SMR Collectibles. Welcome to our next video. This video is going to be highlighting the difference between a PSA 9 and a PSA 8. Many collectors contact us and ask us whether we should get our cards graded, and this video is definitely meant for those people, including people who are more beginning collectors who are trying to decipher the difference between an 8 and a 9, and even more experienced collectors who are new to the grading world and want to understand the difference between the conditions more so than it just says on a simple website. So this is a video is demonstrating some of the more subtle differences and some of the more noticeable differences. The cards we're going to be highlighting today are from the 1997 EX2000 Essential Credentials set. We were fortunate enough to buy this set from a collector who put it together in the late 90s and put it together raw. This is a very, very tough set. It's numbered to 100 and there's only 100 of each card. The surface of these cards are made with very, very condition sensitive material. There's probably very little sets known to have been completed. These are in the football version. I think there's about 60 cards in this set, and it comes with specific key rookies in it, as well as some very big stars. We happen to submit a couple cards for grading. There's a big upside if we get a 10 on any of these cards, which we were able to and fortunate to receive some 10s. But the drop off as you get from a 10 to a 9 to an 8 is very, very big. So we wanted to illustrate the difference, even though your cards, a lot of collectors claim their cards are gem mint and never been touched in a plastic. Just because they're in a plastic from the 90s doesn't mean that they're mint condition. The card has to be mint from the pack in order to actually be mint. And just because it was in the pack and you never touched it, even if you wore rubber gloves, still, it doesn't mean the card is gem mint because the card has to be printed properly. The centering on cards is something that you can't control even if you handle the card properly from the time you open it to the time that you put it in a holder. So that is something we just wanted to illustrate and point out in this video. These two cards have severely different values, even if they were both, of course, greater than 9. That wouldn't make the difference amongst the cards, equal. Just because two cards are graded the same, the players and the demand for the two cards are drastically different. Also, the population of each grade on each card derives the value. So this card happens to be worth about $60, and this card happens to be worth about $450. So, as I continue to explain, I just want you to notice the difference between the actual grades on the cards, not the actual cards themselves. So the Merino has a slight corner wear. If you really zoom in on it, you'll see some of the corner wear that it exhibits, and that it does have some very, very minor corner wear. If you examine all four corners, you'll see that there's a slight touch on the corners. Also, you'll notice that the card on the back has the same exhibiting touches on the corners. So ultimately, that's what makes this card a 9 and not a 10. And when you look at this card compared to the Terrell Davis, you'll notice that there's a definite difference between the centering on the two cards. This card, the Terrell Davis, if you notice, the Terrell Davis, the centering over here, minus beyond the obvious corner flaws, especially on the Terrell Davis, you'll see that the centering of the card, from the top of the word essential to the bottom of below Denver, the distance between those spaces, this card is too off-center to qualify for a 9. And also the centering from side to side also just further compounds that. But the centering, and you'll look at from here to here compared to here, there's actually a difference. So basically, this card is clearly more well-centered. If you look at essential to the top and the Dolphins to the bottom, you'll see that the difference is much more drastic on the Terrell Davis than it is on the Merino, and that's what majorly qualifies this from an 8 to a 9. So the fact that it has more than one flaw and the centering isn't fit for a 9 makes it an 8. That is basically the difference between these two cards. I just wanted to ask that you like our video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be posting many, many more videos in the near future. Thank you.